Hello, I'm Cass and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing some Squid Game themed bullet journal spreads. This isn't a full monthly plan with me setup, but rather small mock-ups of multiple Squid Game themed spreads I designed that you can gather inspiration from and recreate the ones that you like best. Starting with the cover page, I drew inspiration from the Squid Game itself. I wanted to design the cover page to be very simple, but still nod straight to the Squid Game for people who have seen it can recognize it on the spot. Now, there are many aspects from the show that you can draw inspiration from. I just wanted to show a few ideas that I had that you might want to recreate for yourself with your own added twist. Now on the page next to the cover, I designed the alphabet drawing inspiration from the few letters we were shown on the Netflix promotional poster. I couldn't figure out what exact font they used, so I improvised and tried to make the alphabet match as best as I could. The letters that are filled in pink on the poster are A, E, and O, but I figured that N, V, and Z could also be partially filled in with the pink. But it depends on which word that you end up writing. For example, here I'm writing the word November, which includes O, V, and two E's. However, since the O and V are adjacent, I chose to fill in the O instead of the V. I also extended the sides of the N and V upwards and downwards to still match the vibe of the text. The alphabet I created isn't one you would have to copy stroke for stroke, and you can really use the creativity and personal preference with how you color and extend the letters depending on which word you write. But I wanted to provide some sort of base template. Next, I created 3 different calendar ideas. The first one is based off of the players' jackets. Now I know my Tombow color that I'm using doesn't exactly match, but I had to use the markers that I owned, and this is the closest one I could find. Also, all the color codes will be in the description box in case you do want to match whatever colors I use. Anyway, the calendar itself is very simple to recreate. You simply outline the calendar and the color, as well as add a thick bar along the top to write the weekday titles in white. Then I filled in a 2x1 bar on the bottom of every individual box to write the date. Make sure that you add a 0 in front of every date to match the jacket numbers, since each jacket number has 3 digits, like 001 for the 1st and 010 for the 10th. I also drew 0 through 9 based on how the numbers look on the actual jackets, just in case you want a reference of that. The next calendar is based on the people dressed in the pink and black jumpsuits. Now, each shape on their mask represent a sort of rank within their messed up little hierarchy. So the squares are the overseers, triangles are the soldiers and enforcers, while the circles are the workers. With this calendar, there are many options of what you can do, whether you want all the shapes to be the same or different, and where they are positioned as well as the coloring. You can draw a pink circle and add black on top, or you can draw a black circle and draw with white on top. But the main thing you are drawing inspiration from is the masks and the suit color. This next calendar might be a bit of a step away from functionality since the boxes end up being smaller, but I thought it was a creative concept. So in the room where the front man watches the game, there is a massive screen on the floor that displays the portrait of each character. And when they are eliminated, their images blink out of existence, just like the players themselves. Anyway, it's this massive grid composed of diamonds, and I traced each box with the pink marker and added the date to the bottom. The main downfall of this calendar is how the weekdays would be staggered, but the aesthetic of it would be really cool, especially for a full page, if you can put up with that. Now is the start of the weekly spread ideas. Since there are often 5 weeks in a month, not all weeks are full weeks obviously, but it's perfect to include a nod to every game minus the Squid Game, which I drew for the cover. But of course, feel free to sub out any game you don't want to draw or add multiple to one week. Starting with game 1, which was red light, green light, I originally was going to draw that creepy ass doll, but I really didn't want to have to stare at that creepy ass doll for a reference picture, so I looked around to gather inspiration from something else, but something that would still reference the game itself. Now, on the wall in the player's room, hidden behind all the beds, are these drawings of each game that the players play. And so for each weekly, I drew the corresponding drawing. For Honeycomb, there are 4 children holding the shapes that must carve out of the Dalgona. Now, I might be saying that completely wrong, please don't come for me. Now, you can keep your spreads black and white, similar to the wall itself, or you can add an accent color, whether that be pink like the minions controlling the game in the suits, or the player's jacket. I elected to use pink as an accent color, but you could also just color in the characters completely pink, or completely turquoise, or completely whatever color you want. Again, these spreads are made solely for inspirational purposes, and you don't have to copy everything directly. For the next 3 spreads and the next 3 games, I just drew the pictures without including the weekly mock-up since I already demonstrated on the previous page. These games are Tug of War, and I decided to accent the rope in pink for what was more noticeable. Marbles, where I drew the marbles pink. Also, sidebar here, that episode literally broke me, especially Ji Young's death. I was sobbing freaking so hard, and even though I knew Allie's death was coming, it hurt so bad. Also, I watched this show with my friend and I kept calling Sang-woo a little bitch ever since he didn't warn Ji-hun about the Honeycomb game, and that remained true, and I was so happy when he died. Anyway, and then the last game was Glass Stepping Stones, which I actually hated because I feel like there were so many opportunities where players could literally sabotage the game and kill everyone, like standing on a tile the entire game, not allowing people to pass, or what if 3 people stepped on a tile and broke the only good tile, then no one else would make it past, and then what if every player died? How would they pick a winner? And that wouldn't be very good entertainment for the VIPs. So, hello, logic. Anyway, side tangent over, and now moving on to some mood tracker ideas. So the first mood tracker is based off the Honeycomb game by drawing an appropriate amount of Dalgona circles, again, if I butcher the word, just don't tell me, while leaving the shape itself not filled in. You can either fill them in using different colors depending on your moods, or as you see me do here, different line designs like squiggly lines mean happy, stripes mean polka dots mean sad, just kind of whatever you want. The second mood tracker is also using the Dalgona as inspiration, but this time the shape you draw corresponds to your mood. The triangle could mean it was a good day because it's an easier shape to carve out, while the umbrella means it was a bad day because it's the hardest shape. Mood tracker idea, you could draw the needed amount of those coffin gift boxes that the soldiers put the dead bodies in before they incinerate them, or apparently harvest their organs. And what you could do is color in the bows a different shade of pink, or any color you really want to use, depending on your corresponding mood. So a lighter pink could mean a better day, and a darker pink could mean a worse day, or vice versa. Kind of whatever you want to do. Also, a bit of fun trivia that the main color palette, which is the pink and the black, since the coffins and the soldiers are both dressed in pink and black, is literally inspired by Blackpink, the K-pop group, which as a Blink myself, I kind of love. And then I quickly wanted to show some border ideas for pages as well, first using the arches and flowers that were also on the wall in the player's room, as well as showing a simple circle, triangle, square pattern that you could repeat in different colors. Gave you some inspiration for your own Squid Games bullet journal, and if you do happen to recreate any of these spreads or draw inspiration from any of them, please be sure to tag my Instagram, doodlewithcass. I'm excited to see people's take on a Squid Game bullet journal because I'm sure in November there will be plenty of them.